Was very tumultuous for us, and I think, actually, to tell you the honest truth, I think we did a good job. Sometimes the ball bounces towards you and sometimes it bounces away. This was one of those elections where it bounced away, but I think that we played it as well as we could.
How hard was it getting up when you were just kind of getting all those blows coming at you?
Oh, look, there were some pretty tough days, especially, you know, a couple of months back, right? But this is the thing, we just had to get up and do the job, and every day, and this is what I'm actually most proud of, is every day I and the team got up and said, okay, what do we need to do today to, you know, keep the lights on for tomorrow? And we did those things, and then we got up the following day and we were still alive, and we just did it again and again and again until the tide turned, and it did turn. And the reception that we got in public in the last month of the campaign was really positive.
Have you spoken to Matiria?
No, I'm going to ring all of our caucus and all of our candidates this afternoon when I get back to Wellington, and she will be at the top of my call list. Yeah.
Do you regret not having an interim female co-leader for the campaign to share the burden?
Well, actually, I sort of had a team of co-leaders, in the sense that we had Martima and Julianne and Eugenie step up and take over key components of the campaign. And everybody really stepped up, and that was one of the things that I was most pleased with. Was, you know, I obviously had to step up, but so did everybody else. Having co-leader, I think, was neither here nor there, and actually, you know, there was a time and a place for that. We were so busy getting through the election campaign, we couldn't be internally focused on who that was going to be or what the process was. We just had to focus on winning the election. We did that. Now is the time to kind of reflect on the lessons learned and to think about who do we want to be and what kind of co-leader do we want for me and the party afterwards.
So now you've got time.
Sorry?
Now you've got time. Who are the front runners, do you think?
It's a competition between female nominees, so take a look at the women in our party. There are lots of them.
You mentioned three in particular there. Are they the front runners?
No, they were the people who are the top ranked candidates on our list, and conveniently also had specialisms in those areas, right? So Julianne took over the areas of climate change and the economy, which she has a strong background in. Eugenie took over the campaign priority of cleaning up our rivers, and of course she's one of the strongest MPs on environmental issues. And Martima Davidson took the leadership on the anti-poverty campaign, which again she has a real background in and an affinity for. And so there was a sort of a it was almost a convenient coincidence that the three top ranked people, women on our list, also happened to correspond to those three areas of the campaign, and so that was what we did for the sake of the campaign. It has no bearing on the leadership race that's going to happen next year.
If you could sum up the campaign in one word, what would it be?
Can it be a phrase with a hyphen in the middle? A white knuckle ride.
Will you take a back seat in negotiations if it means that New Zealand First will be more likely to side with Labour than National?
No, I would anticipate being a full partner in a coalition government.
And is that what you're going to make clear to Jacinda today?
I think she probably already has that understanding.
So you're not willing to step aside to allow a change of government to happen?
Look, I have said that everything is on the table, and I'm not excluding any options. We just have to start the negotiations and find out, you know, what the pathway forward is. You know, as I've said, the priorities for the Green Party are around climate change, cleaning up our rivers, and ending poverty. And you know, we want to be in the heart of the next government to ensure that those three things are at the top of the political agenda of the next government. That is the most important thing to us. Everything else flows from that. Winston, of course, is the one that we don't know what direction he's going to go in. So, you know, everybody, I imagine, is reaching out to him to say, well, you know, what are your criteria for joining a government? How are you thinking about this? What are your expectations? I don't know what those are. So we'll just have to wait and see.
One of Winston's bottom lines was scrapping any water tax for farmers. Are you willing to let that go?
One of his bottom lines was also recarpeting the beehive. So I'm not too fussed about, you know, some of the things that were said before the election. And I think if you look at history, then when it comes to New Zealand First, you know, everything's up for negotiation. We just have to wait and see what they actually want as a result of the election. So while obviously New Zealand First have got a choice about where they want to go, that what I was saying last night is if you look at if you read the voter intention, there was a majority of votes cast for parties of change, right? And New Zealand First, although they did say that they, could possibly work with the National Party, their slogan was, "Have you had enough?" Right? And somebody who's had enough is clearly dissatisfied with the status quo and wants a change. And so this is my case, is that I think that there is a case to be made for a change of government, and I think that he will consider that seriously.